Chapter 1640. I bought you some supplements. Huan Min almost spat out blood. There were so many supplements, she probably wouldn't be able to finish them all. Was Su Yu crazy? There's too much. I really can't finish them all. It's okay, there's a lot of flavors. I didn't know which one you liked, so I bought all of them. You can eat whatever you want. It's such a waste. It's not a waste, eat them. Huan Min, have you been busy with the company lately? Huan Min changed the topic. It's okay. I'm not very busy. Wuxia also started an entertainment company. Now that GK is under his control, we're no match for him. Did he do anything to you? That's good. Huan Min nodded, relieved. Even if he did, I'm not afraid of him. It's fine. You're not afraid of him, it's just that he's too despicable. You'll be at a disadvantage. I'm not afraid, the world is fair. Everyone has one life, so I'll fight him. At worst, I'll give up my life. Su Yu had a fiery personality, like a ball of fire. It was as if he could set people on fire at any moment, so he was always full of arrogance and made people look arrogant. Qin Chu, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. He was quiet and cold. His personality was too calm, as if he could freeze people at any moment. Therefore, he was always cold and depressed. But that was how people were. There were no two identical leaves in the world, so there would never be two identical people. Whether it was Qin Chu or Su Yu, they both had their own unique personalities. However, Huan Min knew that they were both kind. Therefore, compared to them, Wuxia didn't lose in fame, power, looks, or aura. He lost with a heart without love. Huan Min laughed. Don't say that. You perished together with him. That's because he's a bad guy, and you're a good guy. I'm not a good person. Don't give me the good guy card. Su Yu also laughed. That's right. There's something that I've always found strange. You can pay attention to it when you're free. All right, go ahead. Huan Min said in all seriousness, once, I worked late at GK, and the elevator suddenly broke down and the lights went off. I took the stairs, and someone chased after me. I was so scared that I broke out in a cold sweat. Although there was no light, with the moonlight, I could clearly see that the person was Wuxia. However, when I asked him later, he didn't admit it. From his expression, it didn't seem like he was hiding anything. He didn't seem to know what happened that night. It's normal that he didn't admit it. Who would admit to doing something so despicable? Su Yu didn't think much of it. No, I'm a good judge of character. Wuxia has no reason to deny it. When I lived at Sky Blessing Court, he visited my house. When I asked him later, he admitted to it, so there's no reason for him to lie about that. Could it be that there's really someone who looks exactly like him? Twins? Su Yu froze. No, I think that person is him. Later on, he kept a woman named Wang Xianxia. That woman also came to me. She said that Wuxia kept her for so long, but he never touched her. However, one time, he suddenly came to her house and slept with her without saying a word. Later on, that woman got pregnant, but Wuxia said that the child wasn't hers and that he never touched her. He probably didn't want to admit it. All scumbags are like that, Su Yu interrupted. Huan Min shook his head. No, Mo Shui also got pregnant. Wuxia admitted to it and asked her to get an abortion. I don't think Wuxia would lie, and there's no reason for him to. The point is, Wang Xianxia told me the same thing. The person I saw that night was definitely Wuxia, but the expression on his face was very unfamiliar. I've never seen him before, and he looked like a completely different person. Could it be that he has intermittent amnesia? Su Yu guessed. No, I suspect that he might have severe dissociative identity disorder, Huan Min slowly said. Dissociative identity disorder? Su Yu was a little confused. Chapter 1641. Huan Min nodded. That's my guess, but I'm not sure yet. I've never heard of it before. It's a type of mental illness, right? It's a very serious psychological disorder. It means that there are two souls living in the same body. Other than the original personality, another person will be born. They don't know about each other's existence, so when they become another person, they'll forget everything they've done. Holy shit. That's weird. This was the first time Suyu heard about the existence of such a person, so he was also surprised. That's true. I've only heard about it on TV or in novels. So it really does exist. Of course, Xiao Wei should know better. I plan to discuss this with her another day. If he really has dual personality disorder, does he still have to take responsibility for the people he's killed? Suyu's question made Huamin slightly silent. I've thought about this as well. The reality is cruel. He can't take responsibility because it's a type of mental illness. Once he's confirmed to have this illness, he won't be sentenced to death. That's too fair. Wouldn't that be letting that bastard off easy? Suyu was extremely angry, but don't worry, this is just my initial guess. We can't be sure if it's true. After all, Huaxiqian is a cunning villain. Huamin, are you afraid of him? Suyu asked worriedly when he saw Huamin's nervous expression when she saw Huaxiqian. To be honest, I'm not afraid of him, but I'm especially afraid that he'll hurt my babies. If it's proven that he tampered with my food at Southside and South Hill Manor, then it means that he doesn't want me to have children. Now that I'm pregnant with twins, I'm afraid he'll have other thoughts. No matter what, I have to protect the babies. Right now, Qin Chu's whereabouts are unknown. If something happens to the babies, then I don't want to live anymore. Huamin was very rational and didn't say these words in an agitated manner. She said it in a very calm tone, which added to the authenticity of her words. That was what Huamin thought. Therefore, Suyu began to feel a vague sense of fear in his heart. She had to protect Huamin and the child. Otherwise, if anything happened to the child, Huamin would not be able to live on. Don't worry. With me here, he won't do anything to you. I won't give him the chance. Suyu made a promise. Huamin smiled and didn't say anything else. Next day at noon when Lord Su returned from Jingdu, the first thing he was told was that Mayor Song had invited him for tea. He immediately knew what was going on. Thus, he nodded and gladly went forward. In a hidden tea garden on the outskirts of Sea City, a particularly elegant room was emptied out. It was filled with mahogany furniture. The high-quality tea set and tea leaves had already been brewed, emitting a strong tea aroma. Is it Thai guanine? It smells so good, Master Lord Su said as he walked in. He was followed by bodyguards. Mayor Song immediately stood up. Commander Su, sit down, don't be so polite. This isn't a military base, yes. Mayor Song slowly sat down and poured a cup of tea for Commander Su. Commander Su, try it. I heard that you like Thai guanine very much. Mayor Song smiled fawningly. Chapter 1642. I really like this taste. Back in the days when conditions were tough, we didn't even have food to eat, but we had a lot of tea leaves. When I was training new recruits in the mountains of Fujian, sometimes I was so hungry that I would just eat tea leaves. I've always remembered this taste. It was tough back then, but now the world is peaceful. Thank you, Commander. What's there to work for? I work for the country, and the leaders work even harder. Commander Su and Mayor Song spoke in a bureaucratic tone, neither in a hurry to get to the main topic. After chatting for a while, Mayor Song slightly opened his mouth and said, Uncle Su, to be honest, I didn't ask you to come here today to drink tea. I really have something to talk about. Hearing this, Lord Su immediately turned to the guard and said, You can leave now. But the guard seemed to be worried. It's okay, you can leave. Sir. After the guard left, only Lord Su and Mayor Song were left in the large room. Mayor Song was in his early 50s. He was 1 or 2 years older than Suyu's father. Lord Su was in his 70s, so it wasn't too much to call him uncle. Qin Kingdom, we've known each other for a long time. You're in the government, and I'm in the military. Although we haven't interacted much, I've seen how well you've built this city over the years, and I'm very happy. Uncle Su, don't say that. I'm just doing what I should do. I'm happy to see our hometown growing stronger day by day. I remember I came to you once, wanting to be in-laws with you. But my daughter didn't have the fortune, so it didn't happen. You must have heard about what happened a while ago. My daughter passed away at such a young age, and I've been feeling very heavy lately. I can't calm down for a while. I'm in my 50s and I only have one daughter. Now that she's gone, our Song family is going to have no descendants. I'm very sad, it's like she never left. Speaking of this, Mayor Song's eyes began to fill with tears. He loved his daughter very much. Even though she had been dead for so long, he still couldn't let it go. Perhaps the real reason was that the murderer who killed Song Yishur had yet to pay with his life. Mayor Song already regarded Huamin as the murderer of his daughter, so he hated him to the core. Now that she was rescued by Commander Su, how could she feel good? I've heard about it too. My condolences. Life is unpredictable. We can't fight against fate. Master Lord Su consoled him. Actually, if my Xianxia died in a car accident or from an illness, that would be fine. She and I aren't fated to be father and daughter, so I can't force her. It's just that she died a terrible death. The media didn't leak any details, but I believe you already know that she was killed and then dismembered. I've heard a little. Commander Su nodded. Chapter 1643. Master Lord Su continued, I should have told you about this earlier, but I was in a hurry and had to attend a meeting in Jingdu, so I didn't have the time to tell you. The thing is, the girl who was suspected of being the murderer is my grandson's good friend. She asked my military doctor to do something for her. Professor Luo liked her a lot, so he took her as his apprentice and gave her a military rank. I didn't know about any of this. After all, I rarely ask about the military doctor. But after this incident, soldiers with military ranks will be taken away by the military district for investigation and court-martial. The people in Jingdu were going to interrogate her, but they found out that she was 2 months pregnant, so she applied for medical parole. That's it. As far as I know, her actions are still restricted. She has no freedom and is not out of the law, but there's one thing that's very strange. Logically speaking, a 2-month pregnant woman shouldn't be locked up, right? The local prison should also have a physical examination. How come they didn't find anything? After Commander Su finished speaking, he looked at Mayor Song with a meaningful look. His expression changed, and then he replied awkwardly, maybe they were careless and didn't find out? That's too careless. After all, this is a matter of life and death. If our people didn't take her away, she would have been executed by shooting. 2 lives would have been lost. Uncle Su, to put it bluntly, I just want to seek justice for my daughter. Since ancient times, people pay with their lives. I don't think it's possible to escape responsibility just because she's pregnant. If all the women killed people while pregnant, wouldn't it be a mess? The country wouldn't have any laws. So, I think you shouldn't get involved in this matter, okay? Because you're making it very difficult for me. Please understand the pain of losing a daughter as a father. After speaking, Mayor Song took out a handkerchief and wiped his tears. This was a very good way to play the sympathy card. Seeing Mayor Song cry like this, the old man's heart inevitably softened. Qing Kingdom, to tell you the truth, I am not being meddlesome in this matter. I really have no other choice. I also have my own difficulties. How do I put it? A life for a life. This girl is now locked up in the military and won't go far. After she gives birth, we will strictly investigate. After all, this case seems to be very suspicious. We will investigate it thoroughly and give your daughter an explanation. If she really killed someone, then she must be tried and punished. Master Lord Su's words were full of righteousness. Mayor Song was left speechless. In the end, he could only nod. Thank you, Uncle Su. Not at all. This is what I should do. The military also has its own position. Let's all understand each other. Yes. Mayor Song didn't dare to say anything more. After all, Lord Su had already made it very clear. Late at night Huamin tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. She got up, walked to the window, and secretly took out a cigarette. Every time she was in a bad mood, she really wanted to smoke. Just as he was about to put the cigarette into his mouth, she suddenly remembered that she was pregnant. So, she held the cigarette in her hand and looked out the window with a melancholic expression. Since Qin Chu came back to the country, they got married in a flash, and now she was pregnant. Qin Chu's whereabouts were unknown, and she didn't even know if he was dead or alive. Everything felt like a dream. Qin Chu, you're not really going to abandon me, right? Huamin's voice trembled slightly. Just then, she heard a squeaking sound coming from outside. Who is it? Huamin turned around and asked in a panic. Chapter 1644. When Huamin turned around, he vaguely saw a black figure floating by the door. He only noticed it because there was a small window on the door. Huamin immediately ran over and opened the door. He ran out and vaguely saw a man's figure. Huamin mustered up his courage and chased after him, but there was no trace of that person in the hallway. That's weird. Where did he go? Miss Hua, what's wrong? Hearing the commotion, the nurse responsible for taking care of Huamin immediately ran over to check on him. Mother, I think I saw a figure. A figure? A man or a woman? The nurse was shocked. A man? Tall, wearing black clothes. What about his appearance? Did you see him clearly? No. I just vaguely saw a figure sneaking around my door. Now that she thought about it, she was a little scared. If Huamin hadn't heard the sound and turned around in time, that person would have silently broken into Huamin's room. It was too scary at night. Oh my God, that's too scary. I'll go tell them to strengthen the security outside. Young Master Su said, nothing can go wrong. We must protect you well. Don't tell Suyu. I don't want him to worry, Huamin instructed. Okay. The nurse didn't know the relationship between Huamin and Suyu, so she didn't dare to ask. However, when Huamin returned to his room, the nurse still secretly called Suyu. Perhaps she wanted to leave a good impression on this super rich guy. The nurse vividly described what happened in the middle of the night and even described Huamin's pale face due to fear. Suyu was about to go to bed, but after hearing what the nurse said, he didn't even put on his pajamas. He immediately got up, put on his clothes, and got out of bed. Then he gave in a call. President Su, how's the thing I asked you to investigate? It's really suspicious. There's something wrong with those cars. Whose men? We're not sure if it's Wuxian or Mayor Song, but we're sure that you're being followed. Their target is probably Miss Hua. Suyu didn't say anything. Boss, I don't think Miss Hua is safe. You should protect her carefully, and added. I got it. Suyu was a little annoyed. He hung up the phone and couldn't sleep anymore. She wanted to call Huamin because there was a landline in her room. However, he looked at his watch again. It was too late, and he was afraid that he would disturb her. He got up and smoked a cigarette, then went downstairs to make a cup of coffee. However, she accidentally overheard the conversation between her mother and grandfather. Dad, did you see Mayor Song today because Suyu protected that girl? Lady Su asked. Master Lord Su nodded. What does he mean? Are you dissatisfied with our Su family's interference in this matter? Of course he's dissatisfied. After all, he lost his daughter. He also told me about the situation in a roundabout way. What situation? Are we going to hand over the child? No. He didn't directly ask us to hand her over, and he didn't dare to do so. If he did, we wouldn't have done that. You cares a lot about that girl. He would rather use that method to threaten me. So, Sai, since we're already involved in this matter, we have to see it to the end. Dad, will Mayor Song be happy? Will he cause trouble for us? Chapter 1645. He doesn't have the guts to cause trouble for us, but with his personality, I'm afraid he'll do something to that girl. Huamin is in the military hospital right now. The military hospital isn't a very strict place, so there's still a chance for him to do something. Anyway, tell you to be careful. I'm going out tomorrow, so I'm going to rest now. Okay, go to bed early, Dad. After hearing what his grandfather and mother said, Suyu felt very uncomfortable. After Lord Su went back to his room, Lady Su turned around and was about to go upstairs when she saw her son standing in the corner of the second floor. You're not asleep yet? Yeah, then, you heard what I said to your grandfather just now. I heard. Suyu nodded. Your grandfather is actually in a difficult position. Mayor Song is still in office, so this matter is very complicated. I don't care who it is, but if they touch Huamin, they're going against me. I don't care if it's a mayor or a governor. Son, you can't be so impulsive. I won't. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry. After speaking, Suyu walked out of the house in the middle of the night. It's so late. Where are you going? I still have some things to do. You should go to bed first. Suyu walked out of the house and immediately called Tang Chuan. What's up? Lord Su, what time is it? Didn't you say you know the boss of a bodyguard company? Yeah, tell them to send 8 elites over. Huh? Are some superstars coming to your company? Tang Chuan sat up in a daze. No, then who's going to use them? I told you to do it, so do it. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Ahem, 8 elites, that's a lot of money. I don't lack money. Suyu was extremely generous. I know you don't lack money, but you can't spend it like this. After all, money doesn't grow on trees. Some of those elite bodyguards are foreigners. They are retired special forces soldiers. They are very skilled. Of course, they are very expensive. I'll take it no matter how expensive it is. After all, it has to be foolproof. But I'll call his boss tomorrow morning. No, let's fight now, Suyu insisted. Holy shit, crazy. It's 12:30, Lord Su. My dear grandpa, can you let me have a good sleep? No. Hurry up and fight. You win. Under Suyu's coercion, Tang Chuan immediately called the bodyguard company. He said that it would be ready the next day. However, Suyu was still worried. In the end, he drove to the military hospital himself. Then, he paced back and forth in the corridor outside Huamin's room. It wasn't until 6 in the morning that he quietly opened the door and went to the kitchen to make Huamin congee. Why you here? Huamin woke up drowsily and saw Suyu busy in the kitchen. I can't sleep well these days, so I came over to make you something to eat. Actually, you don't have to be so polite. I'm fine here. The military hospital has everything. I feel really bad seeing you like this. After Huamin woke up, her face without makeup looked even more delicate. However, her mental state was a bit low due to her pregnancy. Before she had time to wash her face, she walked over with her fluffy hair. When she saw that Suyu had already made congee, her heart was filled with gratitude. We're friends. If Tang Chuan and Wei Liao need me to take care of them, I'll do it. So, don't feel burdened, thank you. Huamin said softly. After Huamin finished her congee, she went for a checkup in the morning. When she came back, she saw 4 tall and burly bodyguards at the door. She was very confused. They're here to protect you, Suyu quickly explained. Chapter 1646. You don't have to make such a big fuss. I'm really fine, Huamin quickly refused. Don't refuse, Suyu's words shut Huamin up. These 4 are here to protect you during the day. 4 more will come at night and take turns to be on duty. Huamin was speechless. Don't be afraid when you sleep. Huamin was speechless. Although he didn't know what to say, his heart was filled with gratitude. You can stay here for the time being because it's easier for you to get checked. When everything is settled and you don't need any more checkups, I'll think of a way to get you out. No matter how good this place is, it's not home. It's just a hospital. I know how lonely you feel. It's okay, this is already good enough. Huamin really didn't dare to ask for more. Just listen to me. I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for the 2 little guys. Suyu subconsciously looked at Huamin's flat stomach. Huamin lowered his head, covered his stomach with his hand, and smiled happily. Babies, when you're out, you must thank Uncle Su for taking care of you on behalf of Daddy. When Daddy comes back, I'll thank Uncle Su properly, right? Suyu smiled awkwardly. After leaving the military base, Suyu went straight to work. At noon, he attended an old senior's 60th birthday party. Suyu drove a black Lamborghini with only his assistant. He was very low-key. Hey, young Master Su. Long time no see. Young Master Su, where's your girlfriend? Why isn't Jian Tong here? Nephew Su, how's your father doing? How's the old commander? It's been a long time since he drank with us. What are you busy with? Ever since Suyu met Huamin, his entire life had changed. He wasn't as high-profile as before, wandering in high society and living a bohemian life. Therefore, it was actually quite difficult to see him at a business event like this. Therefore, everyone couldn't help but come up and ask him about this and that. Suyu was a little annoyed. Just as he was about to lose his patience, someone's arrival ignited the anger in his heart again. Wuxia, he was actually here, right next to Mayor Song. He was very high profile. There were reporters and media interviews, so they stood there. President Hua, are you still close to Mayor Song? Of course. He's Xirshi's father, so he's my father. Even if Xirshi's gone, I won't distance myself from him because of this. I'll always be filial to him. President Hua, you're such a good person. You're a filial son. President Hua always praised you when he was alive. How could that be? I feel that this is something that young people like us should do. It's really within our duties. Mayor, what do you think of this son-in-law? Xirshi is gone, but he still respects me and my wife like we're his elders. I'm very touched. Then in the future, when the city government has good projects, will they give special treatment to President Hua? Of course not. I treat everyone equally. Everyone competes fairly. Mayor Song naturally wouldn't be tricked by a small reporter, so his answer was very official. Looking at Wuxia's hypocritical face, Suyu really wanted to rush up and beat him up. President Su calmed down, seeing the anger on his boss's face, and immediately comforted him. Don't worry, I won't beat him up, because beating him up isn't enough to calm the anger in my heart. I'll wait and see what happens to him. Suyu knew very well that he and Wuxia would have a fierce battle. He wouldn't use small fights to show off, therefore he had to prepare for a big fight. He had to be aggressive. He had to avenge Huamin and Qin Chu. Hi, President Su, long time no see. Wuxia actually walked up to Suyu and greeted him with a smile. Chapter 1647. Didn't you see her yesterday? Suyu coldly glanced at Wuxia's face. Really? I don't remember. Look at my memory, I forget a lot of things when I'm drunk. I don't think you forgot. You have a split personality, right? Split personality? Ha, that's an interesting way to put it. Wuxia swaggered in front of Suyu with a glass of wine in his hand, as if he was provoking him. When no one was paying attention, Wuxia suddenly lowered his head and whispered into Suyu's ear. He whispered, I've been planning this for so long, but you interrupted me. Tell me, what should I do? Of course, Suyu knew what he meant. Suyu sneered, as long as I'm alive, don't even think about touching a single hair on Huamin's head. You sure know how to brag. Interesting. Wuxia chuckled with a hint of disdain. If you don't believe me, we'll see. Of course we'll see. I'm not so cowardly that I won't say anything when the fruit I planted is plucked by someone else on the eve of harvest. But Huamin isn't your fruit. You didn't plant it with your own hands. Suyu wasn't convinced. If Qin Chu said something like this, it would be understandable. But if Wuxia said something like this, it was truly disgusting. I won't discuss this topic with you. Anyway, you'll understand. After Wuxia said this arrogantly, he walked past Su. Even though Suyu was angry, he controlled himself and didn't act rashly. After all, for someone like Wuxia, even if you beat him up, he wouldn't immediately become a good person. Furthermore, the crimes he had committed couldn't be solved with just a simple beating. Suyu now understood why someone as calm and collected as Qin Chu would have the impulse to kill him. Anyone would want to kill such a person. He was simply public enemy number one. But he was still living and enjoying it. President Su, and wanted to go up and comfort him. I'm fine, let's go. President Su, have you taken care of the bodyguards? Are we really going to send someone to protect Miss Hua at the hospital? And asked Suyu softly as he drove. Suyu leaned back in his chair and frowned. This matter? I've already made arrangements. By the way, there's a big movie in the company that's about to start filming. It's a period drama, and there's also a commercial performance. President Su, will you be there? I'm not going. Just arrange for a few vice presidents to go over and keep up appearances. I'm a little tired. Okay, got it. And could tell that Suyu wasn't in a good mood, so he didn't dare to say anything else. When Suyu returned to the military hospital, Huamin had just returned from a walk in the backyard of the hospital. A nurse carefully supported her. Her complexion was much better than before. Her figure was also slightly rounder. "You're back? Are you tired?" Suyu walked over and asked gently. Huamin shook her head. "What do you want to eat for lunch?" "Nothing." "Is there anything in particular you want to eat?" Suyu smiled. "Nothing. Then I'll go to the seafood market and buy you some seafood. I asked the doctor and they said, you can't eat crabs and turtles because you're pregnant, but you can still eat scallops, conchas, and prawns." After speaking, Suyu was about to leave, however, Huamin stopped him. "Suyu, don't go. I really don't want to eat." Suyu turned his head and looked at her quietly. Chapter 1648. My appetite hasn't been that good lately. I don't know if it's a psychological effect or a pregnancy reaction. Anyways, I feel nauseous whenever I smell something strange. I can't stand the smell of seafood. Don't worry about it. But you have to let me know when you want to eat something. Huamin nodded. "Oh right, come with me for a second." "Okay." Upon hearing Huamin's words, Suyu followed her back to the hospital room. Huamin took out a check and handed it to Suyu. "This is an international check. It should be easy for you to withdraw it, or else it would be inconvenient for you to transfer so much money." "I don't need it, take it." Suyu looked at the money. It was the money he used to sponsor Huamin. "I have money now. Qin Chu left me a lot of money. I have a lot from the Swiss bank. Even though GK is in custody, Qin Chu told Uncle Qin to give me 5 million yuan every month. So, I really don't need money. I've already paid back all the money you guys gave me. But I asked my assistant and she said that you took a lot more than what you promised. I have to pay you back." Suyu glanced at the number on the check. "I didn't give you that much, you gave me too much. Take it, it's interest. I told you I didn't want interest, you really?" Suyu complained. Huamin looked at him seriously. "I really don't know how else to thank you. You don't need anything, but I really want to thank you. So, I can only use this tacky method, don't blame me." "Do you really want to do this?" Suyu didn't want to take Huamin's money and felt even more uncomfortable when he heard that there was interest. He felt like Huamin was treating him like an outsider, but then again he was just an outsider. If Qin Chu was here, he would let me do this. "I know you don't need money, but it's a token of my appreciation." In the end, Suyu didn't want to make things difficult for Huamin, so he quietly lowered his head and took the check, then he carefully put it away. Just as he looked up, he heard Huamin say, "Suyu, can I go to the company to take a look?" "Huamin, your identity is too sensitive right now, you can't?" Before Suyu could finish, Huamin nodded. "I know. I don't want to go in. I just want you to take me there secretly. That's Qin Chu and my father-in-law's hard work. I'm worried. I want to take a look. Just park the car downstairs and let me take a look. We won't be discovered." Hearing Huamin speak so pitifully, Suyu's heart immediately softened. "Let's go. I'll take you there." 45 minutes later, Suyu asked GK to send over a white Range Rover. It was an executive's car, so it wouldn't attract too much attention. Huamin sat in the passenger's seat and looked at the skyscraper with a complicated expression on her face. Suyu knew that she didn't miss the skyscraper. She missed Qin Chu very much, so he didn't disturb her and quietly stayed with her. Even after GK got off work, Huamin still didn't say anything as she watched the employees leave. She saw Bella talking on the phone as she drove away. Yang, on the other hand, looked a lot more lonely than usual. Without Qin Chu, he was just a lonely assistant. After some time, Suyu spoke first. "Huamin, it's getting late. You'll be tired if you sit here for too long. Let's go back." Huamin nodded. On the way back, Huamin was extremely quiet and didn't say a word. His eyes were unfocused, as if he was thinking about something. Suyu didn't dare to interrupt and waited until they arrived at the hospital. Before Suyu left, Huamin said, "Can you help me ask them out for dinner tomorrow? I miss them." Chapter 1649. "Okay, but they don't have much time during the day. Is it okay after work in the afternoon?" "Sure." Huamin smiled slightly. In the blink of an eye, Huamin had been staying in the military hospital for more than half a month. She ate and cooked well, but her movements were restricted and she couldn't go out as she pleased. Even when she did go out, she had to be escorted by Suyu. During this time, everyone secretly came to visit, but in order to hide it, Suyu didn't allow them to visit too often. She was afraid that if she was too high profile, she would be targeted. If the media exposed her, it would be troublesome. After all, she was a criminal who was convicted of murder. Jishin came the most, almost every 2 days. Later, he was persuaded by Huamin to go back to New Zealand to study. Huamin's mother, Yang Merung, repeatedly said that she wanted to come back, but Huamin found a way to delay her. Fortunately, she could video call Huamin. Otherwise, Yang Merung would really suspect that something had happened to her daughter. In the morning, Huamin woke up and started a simple day. After breakfast, she had a physical checkup. After everything was normal, she listened to music and prenatal education. Then, at noon, she took a nap. When she woke up, she went out for a walk. Her days were relaxed and comfortable, but she never smiled from the bottom of her heart. "Miss Hua, I heard that you're a doctor too?" a young nurse asked as she helped her walk. "Yeah, I'm a doctor too. I worked in medical school and university, but I used to be a nurse. Later, I changed my profession." "Wow, you're amazing. You're the idol of the nurse world. You're a counterattack." "No. I just really like to study these things and I always learn. The most important thing is that our director is willing to give me the opportunity." At this thought, Huamin suddenly thought of President Wu and her colleagues at Southside. It had been a long time since she went back to see them. She almost forgot that she was a doctor. "Miss Hua, let me ask you a question. Don't be angry, okay?" "Okay. Does young Master Su really like you?" "Huamin, it's true. Everyone in the hospital knows about it. They all say so. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so worried about you and treat you so well. Young Master Su's family is very powerful. He has many girls in the military base. I heard that young Master Su used to be a soldier, but I've never heard of him having a girlfriend. I've never seen him treat a girl so well, so we're guessing you too. Su, you and I are very good friends." Huamin smiled slightly. Huamin's EQ was extremely high. He did not directly answer the nurse's question, but he also did not directly refuse to answer and make things awkward. The young nurse was puzzled by what she heard. He seemed to be a little confused. "Dr. Hua, you're married, right?" "Yes." "I heard that your husband is very handsome. Unfortunately, I haven't seen him in person." "Yeah, he's really good looking," Huamin said proudly. "Then your baby will definitely be fair, rich, and handsome in the future." "That's great." The young nurse continued to praise them. Huamin only smiled slightly. In the entire military hospital, many people talked about Huamin in private. She was definitely a hot topic in the military base. She was pregnant and a pretty girl. She was pregnant with twins, but her husband never came. Young Master Su was the only one who accompanied her. It was said that she was a murderer and was bailed out by the military court. However, those who interacted with Huamin all found her to be extremely nice. She was very easygoing and had a very good upbringing. She never got angry and never nagged. She didn't know why she was a heinous murderer. Anyway, there were too many mysteries about her. In the afternoon, when Suyu came to pick up Huamin, he saw her secretly put a red brocade box in her bag. "What's that?" Suyu curiously poked his head out to take a look. Chapter 1650. Huamin, on the other hand, hid it in his bag, looking extremely mysterious. "It's a secret. You'll find out in a bit." Huamin smiled mysteriously. He didn't say much and turned around to leave the room. Suyu was stunned. Then he followed Huamin out. Everyone arrived as scheduled at a hotel that Suyu had booked in advance. It was a private restaurant owned by Tang Chuan's family. It was private, the environment was good, and the dishes were delicious. "Everyone, eat and drink to your heart's content. It's my place. I'll be the host." Tang Chuan was extremely generous. Tang Chuan, Wei Liao, Jiang Shaowei, Gao Ran, and Zhu Lingling were waiting in a private room. When Su Yu and Huamin came in, they saw Tang Chuan joking with everyone. "Who's Mr. Tang fooling again? Come, sit up. How long has it been since you last came to my place? You're actually at Dr. Hua's beck and call." After speaking, Tang Chuan looked at Huamin with a smirk. Huamin smiled awkwardly. In fact, Tang Chuan really wanted to set up Huamin and Su Yu because he was an extremely simple person. He was very close to Su Yu, so he always hoped that Su Yu and Huamin could have a happy ending. In the past, because of Qin Chu, he didn't want to break up the couple. Now that everyone thought that Qin Chu was dead, Su Yu definitely had a chance to be with Huamin. Of course, among these people, only Su Yu and Wei Liao wanted this because they were Su Yu's childhood friends. As for Jiang Xiaowei and Zhu Lingling as Huamin's best friends, they didn't insist. As long as Huamin was willing, they wouldn't have any objections. As for Qin Chu's good friend, Gao Ran, he selfishly hoped that Huamin could always wait for Qin Chu, even if Qin Chu didn't come back. Although it was a selfish thought, he didn't want Huamin to be with someone else. Everyone had different goals, so it was very lively when they sat together. Tang Chuan was very hospitable and prepared a lot of good food and wine. "Shut your crow's mouth." Lin Fan sneered. Afraid that Huamin would feel awkward, Su Yu walked over and wrapped his arms around Tang Chuan's neck from behind to stop him from saying anything else. Huamin sat between Jiang Xiaowei and Zhu Lingling. Best friends were very close to each other. "Mian, have you been having any pregnancy symptoms recently? I heard that some people will vomit in the early stages of pregnancy." "Oh, poor thing." Zhu Lingling asked vividly. "I'm fine. As long as it's not a strange or fishy smell, I'm fine. I don't vomit, but my stomach doesn't feel good." "Fishy smell? Doesn't that mean you won't be able to eat seafood?" Zhu Lingling was stunned. Huamin smiled and nodded. "Yeah, I don't eat seafood anymore." Jiang Xiaowei held Huamin's hand. "It's okay if you don't eat seafood. It's cold food, and it's not good for pregnant women to eat too much. Listen to me and take care of the baby." "Okay." "Do you eat folic acid and deep-sea fish oil?" "Yes." Huamin couldn't help but smile at the thought of the mountain of supplements Su Yu bought. "That's good. Anyway, it's hard enough for me to have one baby. You must be having a harder time than me with 2 babies." "I don't think it's hard. In fact, I'm quite happy. I'm looking forward to the 2 little guys coming out." "You two are so fast. It seems like my baby will be the youngest brother or sister." Zhu Lingling smiled helplessly. "You're not even married yet, don't think about having children. It's too far away." Huamin smiled. "Yeah, Lingling, when are you getting married?" Jiang Xiaowei also looked at Zhu Lingling. Chapter 1651. I don't know yet. I'll just muddle along like this for now. It's good this way. People always say that once you get married, you'll be different. It's better when you're not in a relationship. Men are all the same. Before they get married, they're like grandchildren. After they get married, everything is settled, and they're like masters. Isn't there a joke? A couple was eating at a restaurant and on their way out, the woman accidentally bumped into the glass door. The man said, "Baby, why are you so careless? Does it hurt? I'll rub it for you." They're definitely in love. The man said, "Are you blind? Can't you see such a big glass door for yourself?" They're definitely a married couple. As soon as Zhu Lingling finished speaking, Jiang Xiaowei and Huamin burst out laughing. "What are you talking about? Why are you laughing like that?" Gao Ran looked over in confusion. "This clown of yours. She's so funny. With her around, we'll be able to laugh a lot more." Jiang Xiaowei laughed. Huamin patted Zhu Lingling on the shoulder. "Ever since I met this sister of mine, I've been able to laugh a lot more. I feel like I'm a lot younger than my peers." "Of course. That's why you're thanking me. You don't even need to use makeup to stay youthful," Zhu Lingling said proudly. The dishes were still being served. There were only 7 of them, but almost 30 dishes were served. And all of them were so delicious. This was the first time Huamin came across a restaurant owned by Tang Chuan. He suddenly felt that Tang Chuan was actually quite an innocent person. Other than the fact that he liked to pick up girls, there was nothing wrong with his character. He was also very friendly to his friends. The men began to drink and chat, while the women talked about popular TV dramas, fashion trends, and even what the 8 p.m. TV drama was about. Suyu looked up and saw Huamin chatting with Zhu Lingling and Jiang Xiaowei, who wasn't too far away. He had a faint smile on his face. He suddenly had the illusion that if Huamian was his wife, she would be his wife. They saw each other day and night and were very loving. Then, they would have small gatherings with their friends every few days. He would probably die of happiness if he lived such a life. He didn't even dare to think about it. During the banquet, after Tang Chuan had a few drinks, he leaned over and whispered into Su Yu's ear, "Lord Su, Qin Chu is dead now, and it seems like he won't be coming back. You should hurry up and chase after him. At this time, Huamin needs company the most. I think she will definitely be touched by your actions. In a year or so, or 3 to 5 years, Huamin will definitely be yours. This is your chance." "Shushu, don't talk nonsense." Su Yu was a little embarrassed. "To be honest, haven't you always liked her?" In the past, it was because she had a husband. He didn't want to get involved in other people's families. Now that she doesn't have a husband, don't you want to pursue her? Are you only willing to be friends with her? After Tang Chuan finished speaking, Su Yu was slightly silent. "Or do you mind that the 2 children in her belly aren't yours?" "Of course not, I don't mind," Su Yu immediately explained. "Then that's it. If you don't mind the children, then hurry up and chase after her." "You don't understand? She's very loyal. She won't easily fall in love with someone else. I think her feelings for Qin Chu are very deep." Su Yu's eyes flashed with a hint of loneliness as he said this. "Are you stupid? You're such a smart person, how could you not know that time is the cruelest thing? It can erase all memories and heal all wounds. Qin Chu's death may be a blow to Huamian right now, but as time passes, she'll forget about it. She'll definitely be able to accept you. Don't be so unconfident in yourself, okay? After all, you're a dragon among men." Chapter 1652. Forget about it, we'll talk about it later. Su Yu really didn't dare to make any aggressive moves on Huamin. After all, she was still grieving the loss of Qin Chu. Plus, she was pregnant. She was weak, and he didn't want to take advantage of her. So, he really had to leave it to fate. If fate brought them together, he and Huamin might end up together. If fate didn't bring them together, even if Qin Chu really died and never came back, he might not have a chance at all. He knew Huamian's personality too well. During dinner, Zhu Lingling got up to go to the washroom. Seeing that it was time, Huamin immediately turned around and took out the brocade box from his bag. Then he handed it to Gao Ran. "What's this?" Gao Ran froze. "Diamond ring," Huamin answered calmly. Gao Ran. Everyone was dumbfounded. Huamin gave Gao Ran a diamond ring? What was going on? Wasn't the diamond ring a godly item that only 2 people used to confess their feelings? Jiang Xiaowei was the only one who reacted quickly. She immediately said, "Mian, do you want Gao Ran to propose to Lingling?" "I already said that I like you. You know me slightly just by looking at us." Huamin intimately raised his arm and wrapped it around Jiang Xiaowei's neck. Gao Ran was dumbfounded. "Don't you want to?" "Of course I want to, but this is too sudden, I didn't prepare anything." "Didn't I prepare it for you?" Huamin pointed at the brocade box. Tang Chuan nosily leaned over and took a look. "Damn, this ring is at least 3 carats. More than 500,000 yuan? Dr. Hua is super rich?" Tang Chuan gave him a thumbs up. "Wow, so expensive, how can I afford it?" Although Gao Ran came from a high-ranking family, he didn't have that much money. Therefore, he was a little surprised that the ring was worth more than 500,000 yuan all of a sudden. "This is a gift from me, you just need to propose to Lingling with it." Huamin looked at Gao Ran calmly. There's no flower." Gao Ran was at a loss of what to do. "I have this." After Tang Chuan finished speaking, he picked up a small bouquet of red roses from the furnishings in the private room and stuffed it into Gao Ran's hand. "Brother, tell me what else do you need?" "I have everything here," Tang Chuan asked with a smile. Gao Ran held the flowers in one hand and the ring in the other. He was indeed a little confused, it was too sudden. He had always wanted to marry Lingling and had proposed to her before. However, Lingling said that she wanted to wait until Huamin was pregnant. Although Huamin was pregnant, Qin Chu was in trouble, so he didn't dare to bring it up again. He didn't expect Huamin to bring it up today. Just as he was hesitating, Jiang Xiaowei suddenly lowered her voice and said, "Hurry up and get ready, she's back." As soon as she finished speaking, Zhu Lingling opened the door of the private room and walked out after washing her hands. Tang Chuan pushed Gao Ran and immediately pushed him in front of Zhu Lingling. "What's going on?" Zhu Lingling looked at Gao Ran, who was holding the ring and flowers, in confusion. Before Gao Ran could speak, Huamin stood up and asked with a smile, "Miss Zhu Lingling, will you marry Mr. Gao Ran and be his wife, in sickness and in poverty, until the end of your life?" "Me? What are you pranking me for?" Zhu Lingling thought it was a prank. Meanwhile, Tang Chuan was still humming the wedding march, dang dang dang, dang 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 dang. She saw Gao Ran slowly open the brocade box and kneel on one knee. He looked at Zhu Lingling with deep love in his eyes and said gently, "Lingling, let's get married, marry me, fuck." Zhu Lingling was so shocked that she cursed. Chapter 1653. It was a good thing that everyone was used to her wild personality. "He's proposing to you. What's with your expression?" Jiang Xiaowei asked with a smile. Tang Chuan and the others cheered and clapped. "Say yes, say yes." "This is a bit too sudden, isn't it? Didn't you say that you'd marry Gao Ran after I got pregnant? But I'm already 2 months pregnant. Miss Zhu Lingling, you have to keep your word." Huamin corrected her. I mean, it's not the right time. After all, Qin Chu will come back. He'll be happy for you guys. Lingling, there are many things in life that you can't wait for. Don't regret it when you miss it. You guys have everything you want now. Don't do anything that will make you regret it. Not every couple that met in their youth has the chance to become husband and wife. Huamin's words were very persuasive. This idiot. Where did he get the flowers and the ring? This is so unexpected. Zhu Lingling's eyes glistened with tears. It was obvious that she was touched. Why do you care so much? We're looking at Captain Gao's sincerity and heart. Wei Liao interrupted. If you don't say yes, I'm going to get up. It hurts to kneel. Gao Ran teased. Don't you dare. If you get up, I'll break your legs. After Zhu Lingling finished speaking, everyone burst into laughter. 3 seconds later, Zhu Lingling reached out her hand. Gao Ran happily took out the ring and put it on her finger. Then he handed her the roses. Kiss. Tang Chuan wasn't afraid of things getting out of hand. Zhu Lingling was also very generous. She grabbed Gao Ran's head and kissed him on the lips. She was extremely bold, especially with the straightforwardness and rudeness of a northern woman. Applause sounded. Huamin looked at the two of them with gratification and smiled silently. Su Yu finally realized that the brocade box that Huamin secretly hid contained a ring. He didn't even know when she bought it. What a thoughtful girl. Hurry up and set a date so we can attend the wedding. Don't do it when I'm in confinement, Jiang Xiaowei complained. Yeah, don't do it when I'm in confinement. Huamin agreed. You two pregnant women. You have so many things to do. Do you still want to be in-laws? If you want to be a good girl? Huamin smiled and threatened them. I think next month is a good day. It's already spring in Beifeng, so it's not that cold anymore. How about next month? I think there's no time like the present. Today is a good day, Tang Chuan interrupted. It's easy for you guys to say that. Zhu Lingling giggled in Gao Ran's arms. Huamin could see the happiness on her face. It seemed that her preparations were correct. Although Mr. Qin wasn't here, if he was, he would support her plan. So we can eat wedding candies? Su Yu, who had been silent all this time, smiled. So, shouldn't Captain Gao foot the bill today? After all, it's a happy occasion. Tang Chuan teased. Sure, I'll buy it. Let's get drunk. Gao Ran said straightforwardly. It could be seen that Gao Ran loved Zhu Lingling very much. After the proposal was successful, His eyes were filled with unconcealable surprise. If Huamin didn't urge them, who knew when these two stubborn donkeys would get married? They couldn't live together illegally forever, right? During the banquet, everyone drank and chatted merrily, and chatted happily. Huamin used the excuse of going out to get some fresh air and walked out of the private room to the balcony of the hotel alone. He stood there in a daze, enjoying the breeze. Suyu looked at his watch. It had been 10 minutes, but Huamin still hadn't returned. He stood up worriedly. "You guys eat first, I'll go check on her." After Suyu stood up and walked out, Wei Liao suddenly asked, "Do you guys think Lord Su is happy or in pain right now?" Everyone fell silent after Wei Liao asked this question. Chapter 1654. I think Suyu might fall deeper and deeper. Jiang Shaowei said, "I think this time, Lord Su's dream came true. Isn't that a good thing? Although you guys are Qinchu's fans and might scold me, I still have to make a fair analysis. If Qinchu really dies, it's also a chance for Suyu, because in this world, the most suitable person for Huamin is Lord Su. At the same time, Huamin is also the woman that Lord Su loves the most." Tang Chuan immediately went on a ramble. "Mian won't fall in love with someone else so easily." Zhu Lingling was unconvinced. "I know she won't fall in love easily. It's just a matter of time. I don't believe that in 5 or 10 years, Lord Su won't get married. He'll stay by her side and take care of her and their children. Then, who can guarantee that Huamin won't fall in love with him? After all, humans aren't saints. Who can be so cold-blooded and heartless forever?" It was very surprising that Tang Chuan could say something so profound. It was obvious that he was very protective of Suyu. Gao Ran nodded and analyzed objectively. Tang Chuan is right. It's just a matter of time. But with Suyu's status, it's unlikely that he won't get married in 5 or 10 years, right? The Su family probably won't allow it. Besides, if Huamin gives birth to the twins, she'll be a single mother. Would the Su family accept such a granddaughter-in-law? I'm going to argue with you. Don't you know how Lord Su threatened Lord Su this time? Although the Su family is rich and powerful, they're not unreasonable. As far as I know, Mrs. Su really likes Huamin. What about Lord Su? Even if he can't accept Huamin, he definitely won't stop his grandson if he really loves her." Jiang Shaowei took a sip of mineral water and said, "It's still too early to talk about this. In the end, let's see how things develop, right?" Wei Liao nodded. "Anyway, I also think that if Qinchu really can't come back, then without a doubt, Lord Su is the most suitable person to take care of Huamin for the rest of his life." After Wei Liao finished speaking, the whole audience was silent. No one objected. They all knew how Suyu felt about Huamin. In the long corridor of the hotel, Huamin stood on the windowsill, which was not very high. Looking down, this was the 6th floor. It wasn't very high, but the view was very good. The Tang family's private kitchen was located in a very private place. There was a courtyard in front and a garden in the back. From Huamin's angle, she could see the trees and potted plants in the backyard. It was beautiful. Even though spring had not officially arrived in the north, it was already a lot warmer. There were also swallows that had flown back from the south and were starting to build their nests under the eaves. Huamin reached out and opened the window. A gust of cool wind blew over, instantly clearing up her mind. She placed her hand on her stomach and said softly, "Qin-chu, do you see? Spring is here, but you haven't come home yet. If you can't come back, tell me in my dreams, okay? I'll take the baby to the other world to find you." Huamin was actually feeling hopeless because she didn't know how much longer she could wait. It was so far away. Therefore, in that moment, she had the urge to speak softly. The wind blew, and her frail body swayed. It was as if she could be blown away by the wind at any moment. When Suyu went out to look for Huamin, he saw this frightening scene. Huamin stood on the windowsill on the 6th floor with the windows wide open. In that instant, his heart jumped into his throat. "Huamin, what do you want?" Suyu was angry. Chapter 1655. Huamin slowly turned around and smiled when she saw Suyu. Nothing, I just wanted to get some fresh air. Hurry up and come down. This was the first time Suyu had spoken so loudly to Huamin. His tone was filled with worry and blame. I'm coming down. Just as Huamin was about to move, she suddenly realized that something was wrong. She couldn't move because her leg was cramping. Seeing that Huamin's expression wasn't right, Suyu immediately became nervous. What's wrong? My leg is cramping, it hurts. Upon hearing Huamin's words, Suyu immediately rushed over and carried Huamin down from the windowsill. Then he quickly walked into the private room. You guys eat first, Huamin's leg is cramping. I have to take her back to the hospital for a checkup. After speaking, he left without looking back. Everyone was left alone in the private room, confused. Tang Chuan, it's just a cramp. Look at how nervous Lord Su is. Jiang Xiaowei, actually, it's normal for pregnant women to have cramps. Maybe it's because of a lack of calcium. I sometimes have them too. Wei Liao, that's why Lord Su is so nervous. Zhu Lingling, I think I'm starting to become a fan of Suyu. He's so manly. Gao Ran, so, does my proposal still count? Ms. Zhu Lingling, when do you plan to hold a wedding with me? After Gao Ran asked this question, everyone laughed again. Zhu Lingling's face turned red. Let's talk about it when I'm in a better mood. After Su Yu sent Huamin to the military hospital, he immediately did a full body checkup. After confirming that there were no problems, he finally relaxed. In the hospital room, Huamin was resting with the help of a nurse. Don't worry, she's really fine. Huamin smiled as she comforted Suyu. To be honest, for a moment just now, you actually wanted to kill yourself, right? A little bit, but I just thought about it, I didn't do it. After all, I have 2 babies. I can't let them down. Huamin, don't do anything stupid, don't scare me. Don't die, okay? Suyu was truly scared. The thing that he feared the most in his life was losing Huamin. The scene just now, he was so scared that his heart felt like it was going to jump out. No one could empathize with him, no. Be strong and live on. Everything will pass. Yes. Then you should rest early. I'll come and see you later. Okay. After Hudo comfort means to mean to's mean. At the door, Huamin was surrounded by the top-notch bodyguards that he assigned to him. Huamin was the only one in the entire military hospital who received such treatment. Every day, he carefully selected the food that he ate. Everything he ate was made with the best ingredients. The fruits were freshly picked from the garden, and the water he drank was strictly purified. Su Yu really did everything he could. This was something that many women envied. The nurse poured Huamin a glass of water and handed it to him. Miss Hua, young Master Su is so good to you. Huamin only smiled faintly and didn't say anything else. Suyu drove straight back to the Su family's mansion. Mrs. Su was eating dinner alone at home. Son, have you eaten yet? I have. Then come and have a bowl of soup to warm yourself up. Mrs. Su scooped a bowl of red bean soup and handed it to him. Suyu took off his jacket and the maid hung it up. Then he washed his hands, walked to the dining table, and sat down next to his mother. Have you been tired from work recently? You don't look so good. I'm not tired. Then why do you look so tired? Are you sick? Mrs. Su asked with concern. No. After speaking, Suyu picked up the red bean soup and quietly drank it. Mrs. Su was thinking about what to ask next when Suyu put down the bowl and suddenly said, Mum, I want to ask you for a favor. Go ahead. I want Huamin to move in with us. What? Mrs. Su was slightly surprised. Chapter 1656. I want Huamin to move in with us. Mrs. Su was confused. Because I don't think the hospital is safe. That's a military hospital. How can it be unsafe? Not being safe is only one reason. The other reason is that it doesn't feel like home. I don't want her to spend the rest of her pregnancy there. She's still a few months away from giving birth. It's so sad that she doesn't have a family by her side. Our house is so big and Grandpa and Dad aren't home often. Wouldn't it be nice to have one more person by your side? That's true, but there's no reason for her to live with us. She's not your girlfriend or your daughter-in-law. Mrs. Su's words made sense. Who said that only girlfriends and daughters-in-law can live with us? Seriously? I always thought you were an open-minded person, but why are you still so old-fashioned? Mrs. Su, Mrs. Su didn't know what to say. Su continued, our house is very safe. A soldier is here to protect our house because of Grandpa. So, I think it's the safest place for Huamian to live. Even an international assassin wouldn't be able to enter our house. It's enough for her to give birth to the baby safely, so that bitch won't try to hurt her. Hurt her? Someone wants to hurt Huamin? Of course. Do you think I'd go through all this trouble? Plus, I'm sure Huamian won't want to come. She's a very shy and prideful girl. I'll have to trouble you to do this yourself. But Mrs. Su was speechless. That's why I'm begging you. Can I say no? Mrs. Su suddenly felt that her son's request was too difficult. Are you still my biological mother? Mrs. Su, but your dad and grandpa, I'll talk to them myself. Don't worry. But, hey, no buts. If you don't say anything, then it's settled. I'll go to the jewelry room and get someone to decorate it tomorrow. She'll move in next week. Then, Su got up and went upstairs. This child is really mischievous? Will it work? Mrs. Su was also nervous. She didn't discuss it with her husband and father-in-law before letting Huamin move in. Was it really reliable? Su was a man of his word. He began to tidy up the room upstairs in the Su family's villa. He cleared out the room he usually stayed in and moved to the study next door. There was a single bed in the study. Although it was a little small, it was clean and tidy. If Huamin could move in, then he would live next door. He suddenly felt so close to her, so happy. Late at night, at the Hua family's mansion, Wuxia was having a party with the top management of the entertainment company, a few directors, and a group of bikini-clad beauties by the pool at home. It was very lively. The scene was also a restricted-level image. A director was kissing a third-rate actress under his company, as if no one else was around. Wuxia, on the other hand, was calmly smoking his cigar with a smile on his face. It was as if he was watching a TV show. Over the years, he had seen many scenes like this. After he started his own entertainment company, he knew the rules, so he was doing very well. Just then, a notification came from his phone. He opened WeChat and saw a video. Wuxia's eyes changed slightly. He squinted and looked at it carefully. Chapter 1657. It was a video of Huamin eating silently with his head down. Su had sent a lot of people to the military base, so his men couldn't get in. Therefore, he could only bribe the nurse and ask her to send him a video occasionally. In the video, Huamin was wearing a white shirt and looked very clean. His hair was messy and there was no makeup on his face. He looked as pure and innocent as when he was in school. However, his face was slightly chubbier. Her face was very quiet, without a smile or loneliness. He liked it the most when she was quiet like this. If it wasn't for that damned Su interrupting them, he would have been in the middle of the night. Right now, he should be on some island in Australia, living a peaceful life with Huamin. He wouldn't be here looking at the video and missing her. Me, you really make me think about you all the time? He whispered as he looked at the video. He had a gentle smile on his face. President Hu, want to have a drink? A young model with a hot body walked up to him. I'm not good with alcohol. Then let's play rock, paper, scissors. Not in the mood? Then, why don't you touch my chest and see what size it is? After speaking, before Wuxia could react, the model quickly grabbed Wuxia's hand and placed it on her burning breasts. Wuxia took his hand back and smiled meaningfully. To be honest, it's not that interesting. I'm a little tired of it. The model smiled awkwardly and tactfully turned around to leave. Just then, someone in the crowd yelled, Immortal is here. Everyone's eyes turned in that direction. Immortal appeared not far away in a dark red bikini. Wuxia didn't invite her, so it seemed like she came after hearing the news. Shui, long time no see. Hi, Director Zhu, long time no see. Immortal smiled sweetly. Shui, do you want to sit here and have a drink? It's okay. Producer, I'm here to see President Hua. Wow, you're so sweet. Everyone in the industry knew that Mo Shui and Hua Xiqian were together for many years, so it went without saying. Hua Xiqian knew that Mo Shui was here and that she was walking towards him, but he didn't look up. It was as if he didn't see her. What's going on? You don't see me? What do you want? Hua Xiqian's index fingers spun on the table. Can I come to you for free? Mo Shui walked over and sat down next to Hua Xiqian. Then she intimately in wraps, however, Hua Xiqian bounced her away. What? You're a new girlfriend? You Shuiers? Shui was a girl of Hua Shui Hua. What? Mo Shui's expression changed. Haven't you been in a relationship with Jiang Yi lately? He's been at your apartment for so many days now. If you're going to play with him, then play with him. You should act like a prostitute, don't be so fickle. After all, you're not a prostitute, so you should know your place. Hua Xiqian, is that how you look at me? Mo Shui stared at Hua Xiqian with an ugly expression. What else can I do? Do you think you're a fairy in my heart? Hua Xiqian flicked the cigarette ash in his hand and smiled slightly. Mo Shui was so angry that her whole body trembled. Hua Xiqian, you're a man, don't be so mean with your words. Mean? I think I've been too kind to you. Mo Shui, do you know when to stop? Do you know that you won't die if you don't ask for it? So now that you're done with me, you want to dump me? Throw me away like trash? Mo Shui was obviously not satisfied. You're mistaken. You're exaggerating. Trash doesn't talk as much as you do. You? Mo Shui was so angry that she didn't know what to say. Then, she changed the topic and asked, are you frustrated because Hua Min is pregnant with twins? How did you know about this? Hua Xiqian looked at Mo Shui with a dark expression. His eyes were terrifyingly cold. Chapter 1658. What? Are you scared? Mo Shui looked at Hua Xiqian proudly. However, Hua Xiqian suddenly grabbed her wrist. What? Are you hurting me? Tell me, how did you find out? Did you investigate her? Hua Xiqian's expression couldn't get any uglier. He really didn't like how Mo Shui kept staring at Hua Min. I didn't. Then how did you find out? I have a loyal fan who works at the military hospital and sees Hua Min every day. She sent me a WeChat message. I didn't tell anyone, Mo Shui argued. However, Hua Xiqian obviously didn't believe her. I'm telling you, stay away from her, even if I help you get her, can't I? No, get lost. I don't need your help. Hua Xiqian gave Mo Shui a hard shove. If it weren't for the fact that she bumped into someone behind her, she really would have fallen into the swimming pool. Mo Shui was so embarrassed that she got up and left angrily. Shui, you're leaving so soon? The directors greeted her. Mo Shui didn't reply. Hua Min, you only have eyes for that little bitch Hua Min. I'll deal with her sooner or later. Mo Shui cursed Hua Min the entire way. The next morning, Hua Min woke up in the morning. After breakfast, he was about to turn on the TV for prenatal education. Just then, he heard the nurse who was taking care of him yell, Miss Hua, someone's here to see you? Just as Hua Min was wondering who it was, he saw the person push open the door and walk in. She was wearing a white suit and looked very clean and elegant. And Su? Hua Min was a little surprised. Min, sit down. Su Yu's mother walked over and put down the fruits and flowers in her hands. Then she carefully helped Hua Min up. I'm fine. Min, how far along are you? It's only been 2 months. I can't tell. Hua Min smiled. I heard from you. I'm sorry that I didn't come to see you until now. No. Auntie Su, please don't say that. I'm really grateful that you came. You're an elder. If it weren't for the fact that I can't move freely, I would have visited you a long time ago. Hua Min especially respected Su Yu's mother. He had interacted with her at Southside before, and she was a well-educated woman. Don't say that. It's rare that we're fated to meet. I like you, Kit. You and you are good friends, so you really don't have to treat me like an outsider. All right, Hua Min was still a little reserved when he saw Lady Su. Lady Su put the lavender and lilies she bought into the vase. Then, she took out an apple and carefully peeled it for Huamin. Mian, you need to eat some apples, okay? Apples contain a lot of vitamins. Okay. Look at my memory, I forgot that you're a doctor and know more than I do. Then, she couldn't help but giggle like an innocent little girl. Huamin couldn't help but laugh as well. Let me tell you. Sometimes, I have a tendency to forget things. Even Suyu said that I don't know if I'll get Alzheimer's in the future. When I took care of you, he ate a lot of apples. That's why he was born white and chubby. He's a little tan now because of the sun in the army. Anyway, just eat more apples. Okay, I'll listen to you. Huamin nodded, and a trace of warmth flashed across his heart. His mother wasn't by his side, and it had been a long time since an elder spoke to him like this. He felt very gratified. As they chatted, they reached the main point. Huamin took the apple from Lady Su and took a bite. Then, she heard Mrs. Su ask, Mian, actually, I came here today to ask if you can move in with us. What did you say? Huamin almost choked on the apple. Chapter 1659. I actually want you to move in with me. Lady Su looked at Huamin and said gently. I can't do that. I already owe the Su family a lot. I know that if it weren't for Suyu begging Lord Su this time, I might have already been. Zhu Lingling, that gossipy person, had already told Huamin in private how Suyu threatened his grandpa to save the damsel in distress. Huamin felt extremely bad after hearing this, but she never asked Suyu about it. After all, if he asked about it, she couldn't say anything. Other than saying thank you, there was nothing else she could do now. Therefore, she planned to remember this favor silently in her heart. If Suyu really needed her help in the future, she would do whatever she could to save him. Then, it would really be a mountain of daggers and a sea of flames. He would not shirk his duty. In this world, there was no greater favor than saving a life. Unfortunately, in today's society, people were used to taking and receiving, but they forgot to have a grateful heart. Don't say that. Since you're Yu's good friend, he won't ignore your safety. To be honest, this time, it seemed easy to bail you out from prison to the military and then to the hospital, but in fact, my father did put in a lot of effort. The military isn't as simple as people think. The higher your rank, the more careful you have to be. Otherwise, you might accidentally drag your family into eternal damnation. I don't mean anything by telling you this, but since the Su family saved you, it proves that you're worth it. Also, from a personal standpoint, I'll never believe that you're that murderer. I don't know the whole story and I won't ask about it. I believe that you have your reasons. But since you're safe now, you'll be fine in the future. Auntie Su, I can't go to your house. Huamin seemed to be in a hurry to refuse. However, Lady Su held Huamin's hand and said in a serious tone, Mian, don't worry, listen to me first. Okay. Huamin nodded. You're now 2 months pregnant, and you're twins, so this process must be difficult. It's a little more difficult than normal pregnant women. Your family members are not by your side for special reasons, so it's not a foolproof plan for you to stay in the hospital. Also, I heard from you that the hospital isn't safe. It seems like someone wants to harm you. Lady Su didn't know about the grudge between Huasiqian and Huamin, but she vaguely heard from Suyu that someone was constantly endangering Huamin's safety. Huamin didn't say anything and continued to listen. Also, my dad went to see Mayor Song that day and had a long talk. I don't need to say more about Mayor Song. You should know him, right? He's the father of the victim this time. He only has one daughter, and it's obvious how he's feeling after losing her. Now that you're out in one piece, he couldn't hold it in and immediately questioned my dad about the details of the incident. Between the lines, my dad analyzed that Mayor Song might not let this go. He must hate you to the core. After all, he thinks you're the suspect in his daughter's death. Huamin nodded, thinking that Lady Su had a point. Mayor Song is the highest authority in the city. His influence is not to be underestimated. The military hospital is too big, and there are too many people. It's inevitable that we'll make mistakes. If his people are really there, They might accidentally cause an accident and cause you to lose the baby, let alone something serious. So, I hope you can think about the baby and be selfish. Move to our place. The reason why I'm asking you to move to our place is because the Su family is the safest place right now. Because of my dad, there's a regiment of soldiers guarding our residential area. Not even a high-level assassin can sneak in, let alone the mayor's people. The security is very tight. Just bear with it for a while and wait until the baby is born. It won't be too late for you to move out then. Mayor Song is still angry right now, and Yu is really afraid that he'll do something to you. That's why we came up with this plan. We're not trying to make things difficult for you. Chapter 1660. Auntie Su, I understand your good intentions, but I don't have the right to move into the Su family with my status. I'll bring you trouble. Plus, Suyu is still single. I'm afraid that if word gets out, it won't be good for him, Huamin said tactfully. The Su family isn't afraid of being implicated. We'll protect you well and won't let the media spread rumors. As for Suyu, I've already thought about it. After you move in, I'll ask him to move out and not allow him to live at home. That's because it'll also affect your reputation. If your husband comes back one day and sees you at home, it might cause a misunderstanding. So, I might as well not let him come back, Auntie Su. To be honest, Lady Su's words were too careful. Even someone as smart as Huamin didn't know how to refuse. She had said so much for him. If he insisted on not going at this time, he would seem too pretentious. Seeing Huamin hesitate, Lady Su said, My dad and my husband are rarely at home. My family is in the south, and I'm usually alone at home. It's very boring. If you can go, I'll have one more person to accompany me, as long as you don't mind my nagging. Why would I? You're such a nice person, I really like you. Huamin praised Lady Su from the bottom of his heart. Lady Su's eyes lit up, and she excitedly grabbed Huamin's hand. That's great, then you agree. It's settled then. Hey, Auntie Su, after I tidy up the room in a few days, I'll ask you to bring you over. You'll have to suffer for a few more days. Don't worry, I'm very good at taking care of pregnant women. I've also given birth before, so I'm very experienced. Lady Su looked very happy. Huamin didn't know what to say. He couldn't refuse anymore. The Su family had been very kind to her, and she didn't want Lady Su to feel bad. Moreover, they had already said that they had already kicked Suyu out in order to bring her over. And his goal was to protect her until she gave birth. To be honest, Huamin also felt that it would be safer to go to the Su family. Otherwise, even if there were bodyguards here, he would still be afraid that the pervert Hua Xiqian would suddenly make a move on him one day. Huamin was not afraid of death, but if he accidentally lost the baby, how could he face Qin Chu in the future? Facing the Qin family's in-laws? In the end, Huamin nodded. I'll have to trouble Auntie from now on. What are you talking about? It's no trouble at all. We just have another daughter in our family. Lady Su smiled gently. Huamin was also very, very touched. Huamin didn't ask Lady Su if this was Su Yu's idea. Moreover, with Lady Su's intelligence, she wouldn't say anything. However, Huamin knew in his heart that Su Yu must have asked his mother to persuade Huamin. Because if it were Su Yu, Huamin would definitely refuse. No matter what he said, she wouldn't move to the Su family's house. Just as Huamin said, what identity would she have to go to the Su family's house? She wouldn't have a legitimate reason. However, if it were Su Yu's mother who said these words, it would be different. She was an elder, and she was so good at talking. She clearly analyzed the pros and cons of this matter from start to finish. At this point, if you didn't go, you wouldn't be doing them a favor. Therefore, Su Yu was very powerful and directly asked his mother to come out. She persuaded Huamin in one go. That night, when Su Yu came home from work for dinner, he couldn't wait to ask his mother, Mom, did you go to the military hospital? Did you see Huamin? Did you talk about that matter? Chapter 1661. I'll go. Young Master Su, how can I not do what you want me to do? Mom, stop messing around, let's talk nicely. Su Yu hugged his mother's shoulders and acted cute. Clean up the house for the next few days and disinfect it thoroughly. Also, prepare some new daily necessities and bring Mian back in a few days. Mom, she agreed. Su Yu was ecstatic. Of course, Mian is a very sensible child. She should understand what I'm saying. What did you say? I'm curious. Su Yu admired his mother. It's not something you should worry about. Oh, by the way, when Mian comes over, you're not allowed to come home. Su Yu was speechless. Why? Su Yu looked wronged. To avoid suspicion. What suspicion? Su Yu was a little confused by his mother's words. Silly boy. How can you chase a girl like this? If you let her stay at home and see her all day long, she'll feel uncomfortable. She's pregnant. Plus, if her family comes back to see the baby and finds out that she moved in for no reason and is friends with you, then it'll become a problem. So, if you want to see her in the future, just come back for dinner. You're not allowed to stay overnight, or else. I won't let her stay with us. Do you have to be so careful? Our house is so powerful, the media won't come in and take pictures. It's not for the media, it's for Mian's family. I heard that Mian's husband's whereabouts are unknown. We don't know if he's dead or alive, so maybe he's still alive. So, if they come back and see you two living in the same house, what will they think? If it were you, would you feel good? Su Yu didn't know how to refute Su Yu's mother's question. But I didn't think too much about it. As long as she's willing to come to our house, I'm fine with anything. I'm just worried that she'll be in danger. After all, Huasiqian and Mayor Song are watching us closely. Don't worry. I can't promise you anything else, but I can definitely take care of Huamin until he gives birth. Thank you, Mom. Su Yu hugged his mother's neck intimately. Why are you being so polite with me? Do you think I can't tell what you're thinking? Silly boy. Su Yu scratched his head in embarrassment. In any case, as long as Huamin could stay at his house, he would feel a lot more at ease. He could even sleep soundly. After dinner, Su Yu drove out to have a drink with Wei Liao and Tang Chuan. Lady Su was sitting in the living room, brewing flower tea. Madam, are we going to have guests moving in? And you asked. Yes. Young Master always talks about Mian. Ha, she must be the girl that young Master likes. How do you know? Lady Su looked up curiously. Because every time he says that name, his eyes have a kind of, how do I put it? Anyways, it's a different feeling. I've been in our house for so many years and watched young Master grow up. I can tell what he's thinking. Auntie Yu smiled honestly. Lady Su nodded. Holding the flower tea, she said quietly, yeah, I've never seen him so gentle. That's why this is a good thing. Young Master finally has someone he likes. You used to worry that young Master was too stubborn and disobedient in his private life. He is indeed disobedient, but I can't do anything about it. My poor son, Lady Su said with a complicated look in her eyes. She really liked Huamin, but she knew that Huamin wasn't Su Yu's. Inside a clubhouse owned by the Tang Corporation, what? Huamin is moving into your house? Really? Tang Chuan didn't believe it and thought that Su Yu was bragging. Chapter 1662. Of course it's true. When have I ever lied to you guys? Su Yu glared at Tang Chuan and retorted. But, with my understanding of Dr. Hua, why would she? Tang Chuan had known Huamin for a long time, so he knew a little about her. With her personality, she wouldn't easily move into Su Yu's house, right? That would be so awkward. I think he asked for help. He can't do such a difficult thing on his own, Wei Liao interrupted. Wei Liao, you're smart? I did ask my mom to help me. You asked Auntie? You're amazing, bro. Su Yu was probably the only one who would use his mother to chase a girl. Auntie Su is really easy to talk to. She actually agreed to help you? That's because my mom really likes Huamin, Su Yu said proudly. But no matter what, Huamin agreed to come. This is a good thing for you, Wei Liao said slowly. That's right. The pavilion closest to the water enjoys the moonlight first. How could our Lord Su not understand this? Tang Chuan snickered. But my mom said, after Huamin moves in, I have to move out of the house. Su Yu's words confused Wei Liao and Tang Chuan. Because she said she has to avoid suspicion. Plus, if I live at home, it won't be convenient for Huamin, Su Yu added. If that's the case, you don't have many chances. What's the difference between living at the hospital and living at the hospital? Tang Chuan asked. It's not as good as living at the hospital. If it's at the hospital, you can visit whenever you want. But if it's at home, there are so many people there, it wouldn't be appropriate for you to visit, especially with your parents and grandpa. It would be awkward no matter how you treat Huamin in front of your family. Wei Liao analyzed carefully. Forget it. I don't want to think too much about it. I didn't ask Huamin to move into my house to pursue her. It's because the military hospital is full of people. I don't know when Mayor Song and Huasiqian's people will sneak in, so I'm worried. I have to protect her until she gives birth. She's safe at home. No other place can compare to her. Tang Chuan and Wei Liao knew how strong the Su family's network was, so they agreed with Su Yu's opinion. At noon, Huamian was about to take a nap after lunch when she heard a commotion outside. What's going on? She opened her eyes and asked the nurse. There's a performance at the hospital today. They say a superstar is coming to our hospital to sing for us. I don't know if it's true or not, but I didn't receive any notice before. It's quite sudden. Really? There's a superstar? Yeah. Do you want to go take a look? The nurse's eyes lit up. Huamin didn't have the heart to refuse. Okay, it's so loud anyway, I can't sleep. Let's go take a look. Huamin didn't like to join in the fun, but she could tell that the nurse taking care of her really wanted to go, so she went with her. The nurse helped her walk from the back of the recuperation building to the front of the office building. She didn't know when a gorgeous stage was set up, many people surrounded the stage, and the nurse pulled Huamin inside. When people turned around and saw Huamin, they immediately made way for her. They all knew that this was a girl with a special status. She was someone that young Master Su especially adored. Finally, the nurse led Huamin to the front of the stage. It was also the so-called superstar's turn. Huamin was slightly surprised when she saw the woman. Chapter 1663. It was Emo Shui obviously saw her as well. She glanced at her with a faint smile on her face. Then she picked up the microphone and said, "Thank you for your warm applause. Let me sing a song. What would you like to hear?" Emo Shui interacted with the people below the stage, but Huamin suddenly lost interest. She had always believed that Emo Shui lied to Huasiqian, or that she knew the truth from the beginning. Therefore, she was disgusted by this person. "You can watch from here. I'm a little sleepy. I'm going to sleep. You just came in and left." The nurse didn't know what was going on and expressed her disappointment. "You can watch." Huamin patted her shoulder and turned around to leave. Emo Shui watched Huamin's back as he left, and the corners of her mouth curled up. Huamin lay on the bed and fell asleep in a daze. She vaguely felt that someone was looking at her in her room. She suddenly opened her eyes, and sure enough, Emo Shui was in her room. "Why are you here?" "What? Are you scared?" Emo Shui smiled like a flower, but her smile was extremely creepy. Huamin instinctively sat up and was on high alert. Emo Shui was Huasiqian's woman, so she was her enemy. There was no doubt about that. "You look good. There's food and drinks. The Su family really invested a lot to protect you this time. What does that have to do with you?" Huamin coldly replied. "It doesn't. I'm just curious, how hard did you perform in bed for Su Yu to be so loyal to you? He even used the military's power to protect you. You're really something. You played two outstanding men like a fiddle." "Oh, sorry, I misspoke, it was 3. And my favorite, Qian, is obsessed with you. I don't want to argue with you. Please leave now." Huamin ordered her to leave. "What are you busy with? We've known each other for a long time. I told them that I'm your good friend, and they all believed me. To outsiders, I'm visiting my best friend. Emo Shui, can you not be so disgusting? Did you become a hypocrite after spending so much time with Huasiqian? Is it tiring to wear a mask?" Huamin looked at her faintly. "Whether I'm tired or not is my own business. You don't have to worry about it. Then it's my business to toy with whoever I want. I don't need you to tell me what to do, Huamian retorted. Then Huamian got up to get off the bed. Do you want some water? I get you a cup of water. After she finished speaking, she poured a glass handed the water it. She didn't take the hand. Ants then her's swatter droplets jumped out and almost scalded Huamin. Luckily, she reacted quickly and dodged. Huamin was really angry. The bodyguard immediately ran in. Miss Hu, what's wrong? Get this person out of here now. The tall bodyguard immediately walked over and dragged Mo Shui out of the room. Huamin, do you think you can keep your child? Xiqian won't let them off the hook. Your child can't be born. He has plenty of ways to deal with you. In the end, you'll only end up as a sparrow imprisoned by him. How pitiful, pathetic, and laughable. Mo Shui looked at Huamin viciously as she spoke. Chapter 1664. You're talking about your own situation, aren't you? Also, cursing a child is the most vicious thing in the world. You're a woman too, and you'll be a mother in the future. I hope you can see this clearly. Good and evil will be repaid. Remember to be virtuous. Karma is reincarnated. Before Mo Shui could say anything else, the bodyguards dragged her out. After Mo Shui left, Huamin didn't feel like sleeping anymore. She lowered her head and cleaned up the broken glasses. She felt a little depressed. She always knew that Xiqian wouldn't let her off the hook so easily. Now that she was pregnant, how did he know? Although Mo Shui's words were harsh, they weren't necessarily false. So, moving into the Su family was the best choice, wasn't it? When Su Yu came in the afternoon and heard the bodyguards report what happened, he was furious. Who let this woman in? Are you all idiots? Su Yu yelled. The nurse taking care of Miss Hu told us that this woman is a superstar. She wouldn't lie. She must be Miss Hu's friend. That's why we... Shut up. So what if she's a superstar? In my eyes, she's nothing. How many times have I told you not to let anyone see Huamin? Are you all deaf? The four bodyguards fell silent. Young Master Su, it's all my fault. The nurse said with tears in her eyes. If she didn't admire Mo Shui so much that she easily believed her words, she wouldn't have let her in to piss Miss Hu off. Shut up. I'll deal with you later. Su Yu hadn't been this angry in a long time. He was truly furious. He pushed the door open and saw Huamin sitting on the couch, knitting a sweater. At that moment, his gaze immediately softened. I heard about what happened with Mo Shui. Are you okay? Did she do anything bad to you? I'll go find her right now. No, she just said some extreme things. I don't take it to heart. Huamin smiled. Su Yu walked over and looked down at the ball of wool in Huamin's hand. She asked curiously, what is this? The nurse bought it for me. I plan to knit 2 sweaters. After the babies are born, they can be worn in winter. You're really talented. There are so many finished products out there. Why do you have to put in so much effort? Huamin smiled and said, it's just a small token of appreciation from a mother. I have nothing to do anyway. Those guys are all trash. I've decided to fire them and that irresponsible nurse. I'll kick them all out. Don't. They didn't do it on purpose. It's not their fault that they didn't know. Huamin put down the ball of wool in his hand. She knew that Su Yu was a man of his word. However, it really wasn't a big deal. He really wasn't in any danger. Plus, a scheming bitch like Mo Shui was more than enough to deal with a few honest bodyguards and nurses. Of course, I can let them go, but you have to move out today. Huamin, don't worry, I won't live at home. I won't cause you any trouble. That's not what I meant. I just think it's too much trouble for Auntie Su. Huamin was a little apologetic. What trouble? She likes you a lot too. So, Dr. Hua, do you want me to get you a new group of bodyguards and fire that irresponsible nurse? Or do you want to move into our house ahead of schedule? Su Yu threw Huamin a difficult problem. Huamin. In the end, after thinking about it carefully, Huamin nodded and said, I'll move in today. Su Yu was overjoyed. He immediately picked up his phone and called his mother to arrange everything. Huamin officially moved into the Su family's mansion today. On the other side, on an island in the southern part of the Pacific Ocean, a young girl in a crimson dress looked at the man in a black suit. Did you find him? Chapter 1665. Not yet. The subordinate lowered his head apologetically. The girl smashed the wine glass onto the ground, shattering it into pieces. Trash, boss, please calm down. We tried our best, but his whereabouts are too secretive. I think he's hiding from someone. Lu Yan looked out the window with a gloomy expression. When her sister's husband left, his plane exploded and crashed. She was shocked when she first received the news. Then she immediately sent people to investigate, and she had to do it secretly. Finally, a few days ago, she found some information about Qin Chu. A family of fishermen closest to that area of the sea had indeed taken in a young man. But he left not long after. Lu Yan was sure that the man was Qin Chu, but where did he go after he left? Why didn't he go back to Huamin? He loved her so much. So, Lu Yan blocked the news and took the fishermen away. To put it nicely, she moved them. To put it bluntly, she put them under house arrest and put them under surveillance. Lu Yan didn't want anyone to know about Qin Chu's whereabouts. Although many people wanted to find him, many people didn't want him to go back. They wanted him to disappear forever. How's my sister? She moved into the Su family, she's safe. How's her mood? She's good, she's been stable. Boss, since you're so worried, why don't you go and see for yourself? Bullshit. If I had the guts to go, would I need you to tell me? Lu Yan was furious. Last time, she didn't listen to her dad and went straight to Japan to save Huamin after completing her mission. She almost caused an earthquake. If that psycho Xiao Fei didn't come and take her away, she would have met that psycho Ian. If that happened, she wouldn't be able to save Huamian. She would be in deep trouble. But how did Ian get her information so quickly? According to the usual pattern, Ian would only start tracking her after 24 hours. Did someone leak the information? Was it that guy Huasiqian? Lu Yan didn't know Huasiqian at all because she wasn't interested in investigating a nobody in a small city. But this time, she was truly shocked. Therefore, she also sent people to investigate Huasiqian. Strangely, she couldn't find anything about the 6 years that were blank. This was getting more and more interesting. Now that she was the first to find out that Qin Chu was still alive, she was very gratified. But since Qin Chu was still alive, why didn't he go back to find his sister? This was yet another unsolved mystery. She was worried about her sister's condition. If it wasn't for father thinking of this, his phone rang again. Lu Yan looked at the caller ID helplessly and pressed the exquisite watch on her wrist. Daddy, I just heard your message in the laboratory this morning. Did you say your sister is pregnant? Yeah. Lu Yan rolled her eyes. Really? The old man's voice was a little excited. Calm down. Big sis is pregnant, not me. Why are you so agitated? She's been married for more than a year. Isn't it normal for her to get pregnant? Twins? The old man asked again. Yeah, good. God bless you. If your mom knew, she would be very happy. The old man was so happy that he cried. Hearing this, Lu Yan's eyes dimmed. Have you been to see mom recently? Lu Yan's voice was very soft. Chapter 1666. I didn't. Ian's people are following me too closely. You shouldn't go either, in case he finds out where your mom is. So you're still in the Middle East? Lu Yan was speechless. What else can I do? Do you think I dare to go back to the headquarters? Dad, now I understand why you don't want me to disturb my sister. Compared to us, she's so much happier. Now you finally understand my intentions. The old man scolded his daughter with sincerity. Yeah, I kind of understand now. If Xiao Fei didn't go last time, you almost killed your sister. Do you know that? If he knows where Mian is, then don't say it, Dad. I'll be careful in the future, Lu Yan apologized. But, did Psycho Xiao tell on me to you? Xiao Fei didn't say anything. He's a good kid. If he was a good kid, then there would be no demons in this world. Okay, I've known him for so many years. I know him better than you do, so you really don't want to think about it? Of course not, I'm still young. I don't want to get married and have kids, it's too scary. I'm not asking you to get married now. Plus, when old Xiao retires, Xiao Fei will definitely take over the family. How do you know it won't be his two scumbag brothers? Lu Yan rolled her eyes. I believe in Xiao Fei. Anyway, if you listen to me and get married to him, then Ian won't be so unscrupulous. After all, he values the power in Russia. Are you asking me to bow down to the strong? That? When have I, God Lu Yan, ever been afraid? Do I have to sell myself just because I want a safe haven? That's immoral. I learned how to use a gun at 5 and a bomb at 7. His daughter's narcissism really pissed the old man off. Okay, don't talk nonsense, it's useless. Pay attention to your sister. When the baby is born, tell me the gender and send me a photo. That's all. Dad, when can we? Beep, beep. Before Lu Yan could finish her sentence, her dad hung up. She really wanted to ask when she could reunite with her sister. Because before she knew it, she was about to become an auntie. Is the child a boy or a girl? She turned around abruptly, startling her subordinates behind her. Boss, what's wrong? Tell me, my sister is about to give birth to a baby. What gift should I give her? Boss, it seems like it's going to take a while. I'm just pregnant. What do you know? This is called preparing for a rainy day. Don't tell me I have to wait until it rains before I open my umbrella. Say it, I think giving them gold bars might be a good idea. Vulgar, diamond, even more vulgar. Lu Yan rolled her eyes at him, clearly displeased. Then I don't know either. Boss, please don't make things difficult for your subordinate. I said you were trash, and you really lived up to your name. I didn't wrong you. Alright, you can leave now. Yes. The subordinate finally heaved a sigh of relief and ran out. He didn't want to upset his boss. Before he left, he heard Lu Yan mumble, "If my sister gives birth to 2 boys, I'll give her a pistol. If it's a girl, I'll give her a Swiss Army knife. If it's a boy and a girl, I'll give her a pistol and a Swiss Army knife." The subordinate was so scared that his legs turned to jelly and he almost fell to the ground. His boss was indeed an internationally wanted criminal. Even the gift he gave was so unique. At the Su family mansion, it's dinner time. Lady Su gently went upstairs to call Huamin. When the two of them went downstairs, they saw the door open. Grandpa Su walked in his military uniform. Huamin suddenly became nervous. Chapter 1667. Huamin. Lady Su introduced him solemnly. "Hello, Master Lord Su." Huamin took the initiative to greet him. After all, he was very grateful to this old man who saved his life, even though he did it for Su Yu's sake. Lord Su nodded slightly. His expression was still very serious. He found out about Huamian's intention to move in through the phone. It was Su Yu's mother who told him. He didn't have any objections. It was just one more person in the house. Moreover, his grandson dared to point a gun at him and threaten him with his life. This girl must have something special about her. Moreover, he saved her life, so he didn't mind being a good person until the end. He heard from Su Yu's mother that this girl seemed to have someone who wanted to hurt her, so she was more worried about the safety of the baby in her belly. Therefore, Lord Su didn't have any objections to Huamin moving into this house. Su Yu's father, on the other hand, was very opposed. Unfortunately, Lord Su was the one who called the shots in this house. In the end, it was 3-1, and Su Yu's father lost to his father, wife, and son. "Dad, you're back just in time. Dinner is ready." Lord Su went back to the bedroom to change his clothes, and Mrs. Su affectionately grabbed Huamin's hand and went downstairs. "Be careful. Walk slowly. Don't be afraid. Although my dad looks scary and old-fashioned, he's a good person. He's old now, and sometimes he's as childish as a child." After Mrs. Su finished speaking, Huamin snickered. At the dinner table, The three of them sat together and ate in silence. The Su family's nanny was very good at cooking and paid attention to the details. The food was delicious and the saltiness was just right. However, Huamin was still a little reserved. Mia, eat more of whatever you like. You're pregnant, so you have to eat more. Thank you, Auntie Su. I'll do it myself. Huamin didn't want Mrs. Su to always take the food, so he took the initiative to do it himself. How many months has it been? Master Lord Su asked solemnly. Huamin was stunned at first, then he and Mrs. Su looked at each other knowingly. Then he replied, It's been 2 months and 6 days. Lord Su. A boy or a girl? Master Lord Su continued to ask. Lord Su, it's still too early to tell. We'll only know in 4 months. Lord Su was a little embarrassed. He coughed lightly and didn't say anything else. Mrs. Su chimed in, It doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. We haven't had a child in a long time. It must be very lively. I'm looking forward to it. Huamin smiled and didn't say anything else. At this time, the door to the hall opened and Su Yu rushed in. Young master, you're back. Auntie Yu took the initiative to get Su Yu a pair of shoes. Why didn't you wait for me to eat? Su Yu looked wronged. How would I know you were coming back? Mrs. Su looked at her son dotingly and smiled. What did Huamin eat? Red date glutinous rice porridge. Give me a bowl too. Su Yu immediately sat beside Huamin. That's for pregnant women. Why are you joining in? It's okay, madam. There's a lot in the kitchen. I'll get a bowl for young master. Auntie Yu immediately went into the kitchen. Grandpa, you've met her, right? Huamin, what do you think of her? Isn't she super cute? Su Yu's words made Huamin blush slightly. Mrs. Su reprimanded him. How can you ask a child like that in front of him? Seriously. You little brat. Don't be so careless in the future. You're almost 30, Lord Su corrected him. How are you today? Are you tired? If you need anything, let me know and I'll buy it. Su Yu looked at Huamin. It's okay. I have everything. I don't need anything. It's really good. That's good. Don't worry and stay here. If anyone bullies you, just tell Grandpa. He's the boss of the family. Su Yu pointed at his grandpa. Lord Su didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Huamin immediately waved his hand. No one bullied me. The Su family. I'm indebted to them. I'll never forget it. When Huamin said this, Lord Su, Mrs. Su, and Su Yu's expressions all changed. Su Yu was the closest to Huamin. He noticed that Huamin's eyes were glistening with tears. Chapter 1668. Silly girl. Why are you saying this? Mrs. Su understood Huamin's feelings, so she didn't feel good either. Auntie Su, thank you for taking me in without any qualms. You treat me like family. Thank you for helping me get out of prison. I can't repay you for saving my life. Su Yu, I can't thank you enough because you've done so much for me. There's still a long way to go. I'll slowly use the rest of my time to repay you. Hearing this, Su Yu's heart tightened. He didn't understand what Huamin meant. Was she offering herself to him? Then he heard Huamin say, It'll be inconvenient for you guys to have one more person at home. I'm really sorry for troubling everyone during this period of time. It's no trouble at all. Just stay here, Mrs. Su immediately said with a smile. Lord Su coughed lightly and said in a low voice, Don't think too much. Since the Su family is here, we'll definitely protect you. Just focus on your pregnancy. We'll talk about everything after the baby is born. Thank you, Lord Su. I won't stand on ceremony then. Otherwise, I'll seem too pretentious. After speaking, Huamin took out a piece of tissue and wiped the tears from the corner of his eyes. Then he picked up the chopsticks on the table and happily picked up his favorite vegetables. Instantly, the atmosphere warmed up. Compared to before, this way of getting along was more comfortable for everyone. Mrs. Su looked at Huamin with admiration. She felt that this child had a high EQ. With just a few words, he made everyone let go of their grudges. Then, they could get along very naturally. Su Yu looked at Huamin gently. You're so reasonable. You always talk a lot. Anyway, you're amazing. We all admit defeat. I'm not. Huamin retorted with a smile. After Su Yu finished his meal, he didn't dare to stay any longer because he had an agreement with his mother that he wouldn't stay overnight. Su Yu didn't want to bring trouble to Huamin, so he left after eating. Huamin also went upstairs to rest. In the living room, Lord Su was drinking high-quality pu tea and watching a military program. Dad, what do you think of Huamin? Mrs. Su walked over and sat down next to Grandpa Su. He has a very high EQ and is very good with words, but he's not hypocritical or pretentious. He's a very honest child. Dad, you think very highly of her. Mother Su smiled. Actually, before I met her, I already guessed that she wasn't an ordinary girl. Otherwise, my bastard grandson wouldn't be so infatuated with her. Now that I've met her, I'm not disappointed. Although she's not very beautiful, she gives off a comfortable and cultured vibe. It's a pity. The old man paused and sighed slightly. What's a pity? Mrs. Su was confused. It's a pity that she's not the right person for you. When we were eating, I observed you. The look in his eyes is different. I really hope that this child is our granddaughter-in-law and that she's pregnant with our grandson. Grandpa Su was old and wanted to see his grandson get married and have children, but Su Yu hadn't been very helpful. Actually, I want to ask, if her lover really can't come back and really dies in a year or so, what if she's willing to accept you? Will you accept her then? Really? Grandpa Su was surprised. Chapter 1669. As far as I know, this girl's lover disappeared in an accident. I think it was a plane crash, and the chances of him surviving are very slim. But she still has a glimmer of hope. She's only 24 years old this year and will only be 27 in 3 years. When that time comes, if you continues to be so good to her and she's touched, can you accept her as our granddaughter-in-law? Don't you mind her marriage history and the fact that she has a baby? Master Lord Su was silent for a while before saying seriously, as long as you likes her, it's fine. Dad. Mrs. Su didn't expect the old man to say this and was really touched. When you pointed a gun at his head and threatened me, I knew what this girl meant to him. So, as long as you is happy, I won't object. Dad, you're so good to you. I only have one bastard grandson. Speaking of Su Yu, Lord Su's face was filled with happiness. Dad, what about his dad? Mrs. Su was quite worried about her father's mood. Leave it to me. Thank you. Mrs. Su smiled and finally left with a sigh of relief. On the first night Huamin came to the Su family, she couldn't sleep. This was a completely unfamiliar environment. Her room was very big, at least 80 square meters. It used to be Su Yu's room, however, it was said that after Su Yu's renovation, the walls were changed to light pink, and the curtains and decorations were also colors that girls liked. Everything that needed to be prepared was prepared, and there was nothing missing. However, looking at this unfamiliar environment in bed, Huamin suddenly lost all her sleepiness. She got up and walked to the window, pulled open the curtains, and looked at the night outside. It was a good place to see the night view of the entire city, because the location was too good. There had been no news of Qin Chu. If Qin Chu was still alive in that disaster, why didn't he come to find her? Or, was he really dead? Or did he lose his memory? As soon as this thought popped up, even she found it laughable. Huamin was a doctor and had a deep understanding of brain surgery. She knew that people weren't as mysterious as they were portrayed on TV and in novels. How could he lose his memory just by casually bumping into her? Therefore, the possibility of this happening was almost non-existent. But why didn't Qin Chu come to her? She really hoped that he would come back soon. After such a long wait, she was starting to lose confidence. He was really afraid that if things went on like this, he would start to despair. 6 o'clock in the morning. Huamin had just woken up when he received a video call. It was a call from Jixin. There was a 5-hour time difference between China and China. It should be 11 o'clock in the afternoon over there. Jixin. Huamin answered the phone in a daze. Min, how are you? Yang Merong's voice sounded. Huamin immediately woke up. Mom, it's you. I thought it was Jixin. I know. Know what? Huamin's heart immediately tightened. Jixin said that someone wants to harm you and Qin-Chu, so Qin-Chu went abroad to lie low. You're staying at a friend's house for the time being, right? Hearing this, Huamin felt a lot more relieved and nodded. Jixin is right. I didn't tell you before because I didn't want you to worry. Don't blame me. Why would I? I know you don't want me to worry, but I'm still worried. You're pregnant and I want to go back to take care of you, but Jixin said that if we go back, we'll be captured and threatened by those bad people. Yes, Mom, so you can stay in New Zealand for now. After I take care of things here, I'll pick you up. Girl, how are you feeling recently? Are you vomiting? Chapter 1670. I'm fine. I vomit occasionally, but it's not that serious. It's a normal pregnancy reaction. Then you have to be careful. If you feel anything wrong, go to the hospital immediately. It's hard to take care of twins. Mom, I'm a doctor. I've interned in the OB/GYN department for so long and have a lot of clinical experience. Don't worry. I'm still worried. After all, we're not by your side. It's not convenient for you to live at your friend's house. No, my friend's family is very good to me. Then, when will Qin-Chu be back? Yang Meirong asked. It probably won't be long. He'll be back after he's done. Huamin lied guiltily. I know how to dial now. I'll video call you often in the future. You have to tell me how you're doing. Otherwise, I'll be worried. Huamin nodded. After talking to her mother, her heart felt warm. Although she knew that she wasn't her biological mother, she had treated her like one all these years. Although there was such a big misunderstanding and resentment because of the Qin family, her mother was still the same after everything was resolved. She was lucky to be able to come to this family and have a mother like Jixin. Miss Hua, it's time for breakfast. Auntie Yu went upstairs and knocked on the door. Okay, I'll be right down. When Huamin finished cleaning up and came out, she saw Auntie Yu waiting for her at the door. When she saw her walk out, she immediately helped her up. Go downstairs slowly and be careful of the steps. Thank you, Auntie Yu. You're welcome. I've been in the Su family for many years and watched young master grow up. You're his friend. We definitely treat you like family. Madam said that Miss Hua is smart. Everyone likes you. Auntie Su thinks too highly of me. Huamin smiled. Auntie Yu also liked this girl. After understanding Huamin's difficulties, she felt pity for her. She knew that her husband was in trouble and that someone wanted to harm her with twins in her belly. It was really hard, but even so, she still smiled and faced it every day. After breakfast, they took a walk in the Su family's huge garden. Huamin took out her phone and dialed a number. Huamin. Rick, are you busy? I'm not busy. Go ahead. Do you know the whereabouts of Qin-Chu? Rick was silent for a while. Not yet. Then, have you contacted the Qin family? My in-laws, uncles, and Ningning? Not yet. My brother is still investigating. Rick's tone was apologetic. Oh, that's good. Let me know when you have news. All right. Then I'll hang up first. Wait. Huamin. Huamin was just about to hang up when he heard that Rick had something to say, so he immediately put the phone back to his ear. Rick, you said, Huamin, I know about your background. Qin-Chu told me about your true family. Before Rick could finish, Huamin interrupted, Thank you, but I still want to hear everything from Qin-Chu himself. Upon hearing this, Rick's heart ached. He didn't dare to ask Huamin what he would do if Qin-Chu really died and couldn't come back, because he knew that would be the cruelest torture for Huamin. At the headquarters of the Hua Corporation, any news? Not yet. Hua Xiqian's face immediately fell. Boss, do you think Qin-Chu is really dead? His body might have been swept to the bottom of the sea by the undercurrents or eaten by sharks. After all, the sea is so deep that it's hard to salvage it. I don't believe that he's dead. Keep investigating. Ever since the plane crashed and Qin-Chu's whereabouts were unknown, Hua Xiqian felt uneasy. He had a feeling that Qin-Chu wasn't dead and was just hiding in the dark. In the past, he was always in the dark while the enemy was in the light. Now that it was the other way around, he didn't feel good. Any news from Lu Yan? Hua Xiqian asked again. Chapter 1671. There's no movement over there. Where's Lu Yan? Hua Xiqian asked again. We didn't find her. Boss, you should know that her whereabouts have been a mystery all these years. Even Master Ian couldn't find her, let alone us. Okay, I got it. You can leave now. After his subordinate left, Hua Xiqian pressed his temples with one hand and began to feel uneasy. Ever since he found out that Qin Chu's whereabouts were unknown, he had been especially anxious. What a perfect explosion he had planned. The plane crashed in the dark of the night. There were so many people on the plane, and the people he sent were all burned to a crisp. But the strange thing was that Qin Chu was gone. He had always been cautious. Without seeing the body and confirming the DNA of the body, he wouldn't believe that Qin Chu was dead. Therefore, in this situation, Hua Xiqian and Hua Min were the only ones who believed that Qin Chu was still alive. As for the others, they had lost all hope and were in despair. Including Qin Chu's good brother, Rick, and Gao Ran, they had all tacitly agreed that Qin Chu was dead. He deliberately planned Song Yishi's death. Step by step, he set up Qin Chu and Hua Min. It was so perfect, but in the end, the result was not what he wanted. Qin Chu's whereabouts were unknown, and he was unsure. Hua Min was forcefully protected by Su Yu and isolated from the world. Before, he could still occasionally see some videos in the military, but now that Hua Min moved to the Su family, he couldn't even see his shadow. He didn't dare to try to break the Su family's defense, nor did he dare to provoke them. Because Su Yu's grandfather's identity was too powerful, he was someone who could affect the entire country. Hua Xiqian had always thought that he was the smartest person in the world and that everything he did was perfect. But now, he realized that he hadn't achieved anything. He couldn't even get his hands on a Hua Min. At this moment, his phone rang. It was a string of messy numbers. He took a deep breath and picked up the phone. Long time no see. Master Ian, long time no see. I thought I'd see you last time, but Lu Yan ran away. It's not easy to catch Lu Yan. Otherwise, Mr. Ian, you wouldn't have been able to catch her after so many years. That's why I've always been interested in her. You know, I've never been interested in women, but she's different. Didn't Mr. Ian capture Lu Yan to threaten Professor Lu? That's one of the reasons. But there's another reason. I plan to marry Lu Yan. Get married? You sure have weird tastes. Hua Xiqian chuckled. No, you don't understand. That girl is so cute. She's my little angel. Every time she carries out a mission, she's flawless. It was obvious that Ian admired Lu Yan. But as far as I know, in Russia, the third son of the Qiao family has been eyeing her covetously. Are you sure you'll be able to get her? Do you think someone like me would be afraid of a pretty boy? Ian said proudly. I hope you'll realize your dreams soon. So, can you tell me if you've found the person I've been asking you to find? Ian suddenly changed the topic. Hua Xiqian's eyes flashed slightly, and then he replied, Not yet. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.